Yeah, okay. It was raining and it was amazing. They really were great last night. They will play music today, but they're going to do some talking, and they're not really a dance group, but they do dance. And in fact, Cheng Pom, right here, who's 75 and had never been out of Cambodia, danced last night for the first time in 30 years, he told us afterwards. It was amazing. He said he came that far, he had to do something. So, and I kind of pushed him out there, and I wouldn't have done that if I knew it had been 30 years. But he dances better than me. So, so they'll do a little dancing at the end, and they'll work it out. And this is a really amazing group with really amazing individuals. It's a collective. My name's Ian, I produced the record. I was blessed to do that. I unfortunately, in a sense, have two groups here this year, and it makes it difficult to juggle. And in about 55 minutes, the Tanzania Albinism Collective is playing on the Ecotricity stage. I would encourage you to go straight there if you're interested. It will be really rough and raw and maybe even horrible, but it will be awesome. So I would encourage you to go there if that sounds intriguing at all. But I'm going to have to run off, and we're here on this stage. This got set up after they'd already been here, thanks to Dickie, who's a longtime core WOMAD individual. And so it's really thanks to him that there's this additional forum for them. He's taking care of another stage, so he's not here right now, and he will be showing up probably right when I leave, and he'll say some stuff. And Acute Ron in particular is really, really near and dear to him. And I have to say, and I said it last night, but I'll say it again, that she is just one of the great singers, I think, ever. And that means there might be thousands of them, there might be millions of them, but she's one of the great singers there is, right? And any of you that saw her last night know that. It's a cappella singing that out-rocks most of the 12-piece bands here on a certain level, meaning it's got such depth and it's got such complexity. So the project was specifically with people who survived the Khmer Rouge, about their experiences. It's a little different than, say, the Tanzania Albinism Collective, because these are musicians that have done it for a long time. Some of them are master musicians. Arn Chornpon is an amazing individual here on the far right. He'll tell you a little bit more. Him and Sema will be doing in the middle here, who's also an amazing individual. We'll be doing some translating for the others, who will have the first opportunity really to talk about their stories also. And they've not been out of Cambodia before, did not have passports before. It's their first time. And so this is very special. And you may have heard last night that they were denied their passports on the first application with the claim that they were not listed on the WOMAD website, which was false, but there's no way to appeal it. They've been, the first group's announced, it was there, plain as day. They had an invitation letter with their names, birth dates, and passport numbers, but they were still denied. So we had to reapply, which means I'm losing thousands of dollars for them to be here. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, it's just, we weren't going to give up, because this isn't for money, this is for love. Yay! So we applied a second time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And it was so stressful for them to come this close, so stressful for them to come this close and almost be denied. It was just, I'm glad that it ended up well. But the office there is only open on Monday and Thursdays. They got their notice on Thursday. That left one business day before they left. That's how close it came down. And they really didn't know if they're going to come. And so again, this might be a better forum than last night, and some of you were there. I don't know how to properly present this, but I think it's important, is that among the people from the collective that were going to come was Master Mobsun San, who was 67 years old and was such an incredible musician, really a trance, mystical type of individual in a very literal way. And his dream was to ever play outside of Cambodia. Specifically, he wanted to come to England. Never left Cambodia, never had a passport. We got him a passport, we applied, we bought his plane ticket. He fell ill. He was already ill. He already had walked with a crutch, but that then became a wheelchair, and that became emergency hospitalization and a coma, and he died last month. He came this close, and he was going to come with his 20-year-old son who was going to help him, and he wasn't here. But he's such a great musician, and so it would mean a lot to all of us if we could just take 30 seconds. I won't do the minute thing, but it's a little quieter here, just to honor him. He wanted to be here so badly, and whatever your belief system is, I don't know, maybe he is in whatever form, he's certainly here in the spirit of these individuals, and in my memory, in my heart, and other people that got to hear him play. And it's just so sad that so few people get to hear him play, and so many people get to hear, Coldplay. I don't know, something like that. So here's this individual that just had so much beauty to offer, and I would encourage you to listen to the recordings that do exist of him. One of them is 13 minutes long, and I don't think you would be bored by it. So if we can just take a moment to honor him. Last night, when I said this, it started to rain. I mean, that sounds so hippy-dippy, but it literally started to rain. So I don't want it to rain right now, so we don't want that. But if we could really just take a moment to reflect on Master Mabsun San, that would be appreciated. Thank you for that. So we're going to begin, and hopefully Dickie will be here soon. And Dickie is such a good-hearted man that he got a huge amount of clothing donated for the group, and also for Tanzania Albinism Collective, who he doesn't even know. So I mean, that's where this man's heart is, and you'll see him shortly. And he helped set up the second show. And so without really any further ado, and I unfortunately have to run away to Ecotricity Stage, we're going to begin with Mon Hai, who comes from the far north of Cambodia. And to tell you something about him that I just learned, and this is the privilege of spending time with them, is that instrument, the khan, is reportedly only played by 2 or 3 people now. And he has now taught his granddaughter to play the khan. But when he went to the city, they told him that his music was cow shit because he came from the cows and he should go back where he came from. And so last night, he was so happy because he said he just couldn't believe that he had to travel this far for his music to be appreciated. And it made him very hopeful. And I'm sure he can talk about it better than I, but it made him so hopeful that his granddaughter will have greater interest and confidence in continuing. So thank you for coming to this tent. They're gonna do great things, and I wish I could be here with you longer. So, Mon Hai, thank you.
I just want to explain the song. It moved me also to hear him every time. This song is when you an opening of anything like performance or placating the spirit. They would play this kind of song first to thank you the spirit, to honor the also parents and Prityacha. It's like masters before us. So the words they're using in my language, in Khmer language, also a beautiful language in giving respect to people who give us life, who give us everything we have now. So that was a really special kind of song that I am personally learning from it too myself. So,
thank you. Now, my name is Saima. I am a singer, and we're so happy to be here. First time for us. We not worry about the cold. It's okay. Yeah. Now we introduce to Karan. She will chanting about her story in this Khmer Rouge time, and she lost her eye in the Khmer Rouge time. Please.
Ian, before he left, he said you would return and then you would say something. Ian said that. He said that you set up this thing for us and that you want to say something. I heard.
Hello. Hi, everybody. These are my extended family from Cambodia. I work for Peter Gabriel. I've been his engineer for about 30 years now, and basically Peter sent me to Cambodia about 12 years ago to find a Cambodian master musician called Khmer Rouge. Unfortunately, Khmer Rouge couldn't make it, but these guys came, and they're here to kind of try and share their arts with you. I've been going to Cambodia a lot and recording there and making various records there, and I've just learned that it's a real centre for culture in Southeast Asia, and everything that you hear within the other countries tends to come directly from Angkor times in Cambodia, so we're hearing a bit of that history today, so it's a real privilege. Do you have any questions right now for anybody here on stage? Any questions?
I just wanted to know about the style of singing.
You want to know about the style of singing?
The chanting.
Can you say a bit about that, Mark?
I'm learning myself. It's like a Buddhist chanting in a way. It was thousands of years ago. They talks about usually a range from the Buddha story to a Ramayana story and to a recent story. She can write her own lyric. But there are many different kind of form and songs into those lyrics. Like they have 7 words or 10 words. I really don't understand that. But it's in a way it's like a modern rap. The rhyme. But the word, it's just for me Cambodian words that I also relearn myself. Pretty deep. They really find it. Sometimes they. Just spur of the moment, just like rapping. You have to find a topic and then you rap it. But in the way it's slow motion, and there are much more from their heart. And the skill, you can tell, it's just so hard to learn the way how she does it. Know exactly one alike. She taught it also her students. So you have to find those talent, and at the same time the deep feeling that they must have in order to do this kind of rhythm. It's not only like hormone, not only purely hormone, boom, 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 like some young people are now drawn in too, because they want to tap into the hormones, which is, it's fine. We all have that kind of feeling or hormones. I still have that hormone myself. But I think it's good for me sometimes to hear what they are doing, to really tap into where I came from, and eventually it's one world. It's a humanity. That's all I'm learning. So that's the kind of form they are doing, and I couldn't take it. Some of the young people that I work with in America, the young rapper, they are so cocky. They said, we've been rapping, blah, 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 blah. I said, you'll go and meet the master that I worked with in Cambodia, where you came from. Then they came and they met Khmer Rouge, and they met her, and blow them off the water. It's like, wow. They said, wow. So we all, and they forget so quickly where they came from. They became so cocky and not appreciative. And it's my job also to bring the two together. So that, it's been...
The singing is called smoked. Can I pronounce that? Smoked. Smoked. And it can be used in funeral traditions a lot. When you're in Phnom Penh or in the countryside, there's a funeral. A lot of the time, you'll hear a cassette playing with this singing on. But Khmer Rouge is still one of the originators of that. There's various monks that are also very good at it, that study it, and you learn the melody. In some cases the melody is quite repetitive, but the words are different. So this is, how many students has Khmer Rouge had?
Nâng kia bằng riêng đó ta 50-60 nhẹ nó rồi xin mà rồi nhé chiên rồi
Yeah. Yeah. So Katran comes from, what's the name of the village where Katran's from? Kampong Spoo, right? Kampong Spoo province. About an hour's drive outside Phnom Penh, you can come to this village where Katran lives. There's a beautiful temple on a small mountain, and many students, we used to call it the Smoke Village because many students would go and learn with Katran, and so at least 100 students now. Yeah. Any other questions? What else are? More music.
Okay. So one more smoke, but we're gonna have a few songs that Sema's gonna teach you some simple dance, Khmer dance. Yeah. It might look simple, but we'll see. So one more. I like. I'm also learning that I know him for 15 years. He's also wounded by the war, and Ian have encouraged him to write for the first time and sing for the first time on stage. So Savang is going to. This is not a chanting, quite similar but easier than what she's done. So okay, Savang.
Thank you very much. មិនចេញស្លៀងពាក់ខោអាវផងកន្លងអាយុ9ឆ្នាំតែមួយព្រិចភ្នែកទុកក្រៀមក្រំចង់ក្រៀមវាយដំក្រំជីវិតម្ដាយពីមីងធ្លាប់តែថែរក្សាបាត់បង់សង្ខារគួរអាណិតស្លាកស្នាមពីការរូបខ្ញុំពិតនេះជាអតីតនៃសង្គ្រាមផុតពីសង្គ្រាមទម្លាក់គ្រាប់វាសនាអាភ័ព្វសែនវេទនីពួកខ្មែរក្រហមចិត្តរឿងស្យាបងអត់អាហារនឹងសម្លាប់គេឲ្យខ្ញុំទៅកងកុមារទទួលអាហារមិនគ្រប់គ្រាន់បងខំធ្វើការជាទុំងុនបែកម្ដាយមានគុណនៅឯផ្ទះពិតជាកម្មពីវេរាណាស់សែនឈឺចុកចាប់ក្លោតសាណាំតាអត់អាហារស្លាប់នៅផ្ទះសល់តែម្ដាយចាំងនឹងរូបខ្ញុំសូមស្លេះប៉ុណ្ណឹងសិនចុះតែចាំថ្ងៃក្រោយសូមបង្ហើយខ្ញុំនឹងរាយរាប់ប្រាប់នឹងឆ្លើយសំណួរចំឡើយតទៅទៀត
Yes, I'm going to play a piece of my flute, and then we will be a little up rhythm. Sema will be singing, so will be a little more fun. But my name is Anton Khan. I'm adopted by a British American family when I was when I was 13 years old, right off after the Khmer Rouge. My entire family also victims of the killing fields because they were artists. And I survived because I played propaganda song for the Khmer Rouge. And some of them here are the same. They survived because they played the propaganda song for them. I have returned to Cambodia 10 years ago and started an organization called Cambodian Living Arts, where I try to find these 10% that left. 90% of all the performers I found in Cambodia were slaughtered and starved to death by the Khmer Rouge. So we have very few left here of my identity, and that's why I keep saying that I'm relearning my own language, my own culture through these people here. That's very few left, and I'm very happy to be among them and to also help coordinate to be here. So I'm also learning my own instruments. I used to do hip hop stuff too myself on the street of Low in Providence, Rhode Island in America, and I went to school there and stuff. So I'm going to play a song called a crow's nest. I'm not sure what it means, but it's a traditional music. It's not a communist song. So I'm really happy to play for you today, not for the Khmer Rouge anymore.
Okay, now I go to the song, the folk song, the Khmer dance. And after this song, or you have the question, or you want to dance with me, please. you will follow me. Yeah.
First one, how simple,
Yes, I start with this. Okay, sorry.
That's a beat. Yeah, one up and one down. The hand. See, not I see. Yes. One up and one down. Yeah. And that beat, the beat, and then the foot. And this. It's a folk dance in Cambodia. So if you go to Cambodia, you must learn how to do this.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ
Oh. Sorry. Oh, you can speak Khmer. Oh, you have the Khmer scarf. Okay. This is the last song. Okay. You will sing like the bird. And you will dance like the bird, fly like this. Okay. And yeah. This one. Yeah.
And then will be like a bird, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fly,
Yeah.
because it's entertaining the bird.
Okay.
We have a Cambodian girl here,
Yes.
so she can teach.
She here. She can teach. Yeah.
Or you can also do this but freestyle. Whatever you feel, you know, like can act.
Okay. Okay, and then please to visit in Cambodia. Okay.